I'm Shuman Rado and welcome back to another video. So this video is gonna be a very important video for all of you and for me as well, because in this video the main agenda of this video will be to tell you that what is the importance of journaling in trading. So I took two trades today, and out of two trades, one of the trade is complete trade and another one is running, and I think I will be holding this trade overnight and I will be riding it through the Asian session. But this video will also be a trade breakdown of these trades also, that why I took these trades and what was my risk management during those trades and what was my psychology during those trades and how I managed these trades, most importantly. And also the main agenda, one of the main agenda of this video will be to tell you and to say that how trading journal actually impacts your trading and why it is so important. So on the other day, in the previous video, I guess I got a comment that you know someone said that my English is not good, so to speak in Hindi. So let me tell you that my Hindi is even more bad. So, but the thing is that concerned me, that you know I'm recording these videos as a video journal. But what if I actually maintain a journal? I manually type it on side by side while trading, and actually it will not just act like a journal, but also it will be the script for my video, so that I slutter less, because I slutter more often in the videos in between. So this was the from today onwards. you know uh, I was making video journals, but from today onwards also I will be making this manual journals also. So I also recommend you to make this types of journal and save it, and make sure to use the notes, to save it in cloud, so that you can access it anywhere at any time, even if your device is lost, or even if you have changed your devices. So make sure to save it in cloud. And this is my notes, iNotes, which I all these notes are stored in iCloud. So in the end, it's very safe. Even though I lost my Mac, I lose my MacBook, or even though I change my MacBook, I will be still, the journals will be accessible anyways. So let's jump into the video without wasting any time, and I will be breaking down these two trades over here, that what was my entry plan, what was my exit plan, and what was my risk management, and how I used price action to frame my entries. So also side by side I will be explaining this journal too, so that in the end it makes sense of why maintaining a journal is very important. So on the very first day, you can see, and let me show you the account in which I'm trading. So this is the account of 100x, initial balance $25,000. As you can see, now currently we are sitting at $1,281, and within one single trading day we made $1,281, and within one trade we made $1,250 exact of the profit target. So within one trade, and that trade was this trade over here, which was a 3 risk to reward ratio trade. And I will be also breaking down this trade side by side, reading my journal. So the first trade, the first day of the week, Monday, 3 June 2025. So the first trade itself, by the way, now time, this time I think, yeah, now it came, that created 2 June. Yeah. So at 2 June, this journal was created at 2nd of June at 11:25 a.m. and it was a Monday. Yesterday was a Monday. So so at first trade, as you can see, I was bullish in gold, preparing for the very first trade of the week, of the account, and of the day. So this trade was, it has to be special, and it has to be very good, because it was a very first trade of the week, and also for the account, and also for the day. So watching the gold on the 30-minute time frame. So basically on the 30-minute time frame, as you can see, we have a beautiful price action. If you see it here on the left hand side of the chart, we have this beautiful price action on the left hand side, and yeah, this I was anticipating for the price to cover this clean range over here, and you can see this resistance over here, this resistance, this marked resistance over here, which was my profit target for the first uh, trade of the day, first trade of the account, you can say it, which made me $1,250 exact of the profit target. And why I took this trade? So I was anticipating for the price to cover up this clean range over here, and in the 15-minute time frame, you can see here in a 15-minute time frame there was a resistance, but in the 30-minute time frame, it's just a simple rejection. It's just a simple rejection. But I was waiting for the 30-minute time frame candle to close above this resistance over here, but there was volume in the market, so there were probabilities that the 30-minute candle might give a break and close above this candle and might cover most of this clean range. So whatever I have anticipated, exactly those things happened, and I knew that this will be happening. So in the 15-minute, I jumped into the 15-minute time frame, and w- without instead of framing my entries into the 30-minute time frame on the 30-minute time frame, instead of framing my entries on the 30-minute time frame, I framed my entry in the 15-minute time frame. And how did I frame my entry? As you can see, this is the same major marked resistance which I was considering, which I was watching all throughout this things. And as you can see, the 15-minute time frame, especially the 11:30 a.m. candle, gave a close break and close above this resistance over here. In fact, in the 15-minute time frame, we also had this resistance over here, but it's okay. There is a volume in the markets, and if you see the 30-minute time frame, excuse me. So if you see the 30-minute time frame, there is no resistance. So there was volume, and in the end, it's a high probability. It was a high probability trade. So in the 15-minute time frame, if as soon as I got this break and close above this resistance, I just placed my entry over here without thinking anything about this resistance over here, because there was volume in the markets. It's 11:45 a.m. candle, and somewhere close to pre-London session. Pre-London starts at 12:30 or 12 o'clock p.m. according to Indian Standard Time. So these times the volume is quite higher in the gold. So this was all about the entry for the first trade, and the TP was set based on this resistance. Inside this resistance over here, as you can see, considering this resistance, I have marked this resistance zone, and according to that I have framed my take profit. And the stop loss was framed just below the low of the previous closed candle, and it was framed in such a way that the risk to reward comes out to be perfectly 3. So this was all for the first trade over here. And if you read this journal, I'm not going through this journal in a very detailed way throughout this whole video, because it might longer the video, it might longer the duration of the video, so it will be quite boring. So you can just screenshot this whole journal, and you can read after a video gets completed, so that you get an overview that how you should write a journal, because there are very 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 new traders, complete beginners, they don't know anything about journaling. So this is the blueprint you can use to write a journal. And let me tell you another thing, that you can see it here, that AAA setup. What does this mean? And also in the second trade, I have stated it AA setup, AA rated setup, and also here I have did AAA rated setup. So what does this mean? So let me tell you that also. So I basically categorize my trade setups before entering into the trade. When my setup is being formed in the markets, so I basically categorize into four parts. One is triple A, sorry, one is triple A, one is double A, one is A, and the fourth and the very last part is B. So triple A is something, a very, very clean setup. According to my strategy, everything goes planned. We get a very, very small stop loss, and on the left hand side, we have a very clean range, with no rejections, and everything is perfect about the setup. So it is the best setup. Every best setup is ranked as triple A. What is double A setups? So according to my trading strategy, according to my experience, what double A setup means is, let's say a trade, it's not clear, it's not as much as clean as triple A setups. It's little bit, something is missing in this. Even though the trading setup is being formed, there is still something missing that is there in triple A setups, but that isn't there in double A setups. And it can be anything, missing of one thing. It can be anything missing of one thing. It might, the stop loss might getting, the estimated stop loss might be bigger, and we might not be getting a two risk to reward ratio. We might be getting less than two risk to reward ratio, but on the left hand side the range is very, very clean. Or vice versa, we might be getting we might be getting a smaller stop loss, we might be getting a bigger risk to reward ratio, but we might not be getting the very, very clean range on the left hand side. It can be one way or another. So that's what double A setup means. And what is single A setup? Two of the things is missing in here. So what what can be an example for a grade setup? So a grade setup can be simple as that, like we have a clean range on the left hand side, but the stop loss is very big, and also it can be, the stop loss is very big, and also it isn't giving a very nice risk reward ratio. So it can be anything, but two things are missing here. It can be anything, and it can be also like this, that on the left hand side we are not having a clean range, not that clean range, we have little bit of rejections, and also um, the stop loss might be small, but the thing is we might not be getting a very clean risk to reward ratio. We might be getting a 1.5, 1.7, 1.9, or 1.8, something like that. So this is what a grade setup means. So a B grade setup means something, a very bad quality trade, and I usually avoid this B grade setup. I usually, sometimes I take A grade setups, and most of the times I try to never miss the triple A grade setups, and sometimes I take two double A grade setups sometimes, and most of the times I avoid the B grade setups, and very, 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 very rarely I take A grade setup. So this is a very brief explanation, and this is what I have built. This system I have built on my own. There is nothing like this on the industry, that is compulsory to, I just built on my own based on my study on hedge funds, that how they trade, like how bigger institutions trade. Based on that, I develop my systems, not purely relying on technicals and entering into every other trade after breakouts doesn't make any sense. So it's better to rank your setups like this, so that you get a more systematic way, so you develop a more systematic way of trading and avoid trades that are of bad quality. Even though sometimes even though your setup is being formed, but it can be a bad setup, but you still take a trade and you lose money. So in that thing, it doesn't make any sense to take this trade. So yeah. So in the second trade, what happened is, as you can see, you can screenshot this journal, and you can use it as a blueprint. And let me explain you this trade also over here, which is still running, and the reason is same. And let me show you the clean range which I am anticipating to cover and this is the clean range over here, which I'm anticipating to cover. In the 15-minute time frame, you can see that there is, this clean range is not as clean as expected. That's why I have, graded it as double A setup. So in the 30-minute time frame, we will see that this range is a little bit clean. So it is a little bit clean in 30-minute time frame. So I would have graded it a single A grade setup, and but the thing is, if we frame the take profit and also if we frame a stop loss according to our system, it gives a risk to reward ratio of 2. So it's still a double A grade setup. So we can take this trade and hold on to this trade until and unless it hits our take profit or stop loss. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens for this trade. And this was all for the video, and hope you liked it, hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, this was all for the video. And make sure to check out the code down in the description box below. If you want to purchase any next funded account, you can use the code down in the description box below to avail some crazy discounts on your beloved purchased funded account. Before purchasing, you can obviously before purchasing you have to apply the code, and you can use the code to avail some crazy discounts, and it is only applicable for funded next prop firm. So hope you liked it, hope you enjoyed it, and hope you have learned something from this video. And once again, this is the whole blueprint. This is the whole blueprint of a trading journal. You can maintain this based on your trading setups or based on your trading day. You have to write things manually. In the end, you have to little bit do the hard work. So in the end, it pays off. So this was all for the video. Anshuman Rao signing off. Peace out.